Mason from Wakefield Films told me once,
"You're not gonna have a good wedding film if you have no ideas."
And you know what? He is absolutely right. But I think for most of us, we're looking for ideas in the wrong place. We're looking for it in our camera bag, new piece of gear. We're looking for it on Instagram. Maybe it's a camera move that we want to try, a vibe that we're trying to emulate. And then we show up to the wedding with a checklist of other people's ideas. And then pretty soon in the edit, we wonder why our films look like everyone else's. But here's what I actually believe. You don't bring ideas to a wedding, you find one there. Because every couple is going to be different. Doesn't matter what Pinterest board they send you, doesn't matter what other video they send you saying we want it to look and feel just like this. Every wedding, every couple is different. And so today I just want to give you guys some ideas, ways that you can find one on the wedding day so that when you get back in the edit, you'll have a film that feels like you and that your couples are going to love. Point the camera at who's watching, not what's happening. Reactions carry more emotional weight for the couple. A majority of the time, that is what the couple wants, to remember their people, the moments they didn't see, and the way the day felt. And truthfully, when you put more screen time on the people that are at the wedding versus the couple, don't be surprised if your wedding films actually start to hit a lot harder. Now, both are equally important, but the skill set is learning how to capture both simultaneously and balancing that within your film. But that's the skill set that takes time to master because you're juggling multiple cameras, you're juggling multiple filmmakers, delegation, whatever it is on the wedding day. There's a lot of variables, a lot of obstacles, and it simply takes time to get familiar with how to navigate those things. But it is something that you should start to practice at your next wedding. I'll be honest, about 5 years ago, I thought guest interviews were kind of corny. I kind of cringed every time a couple would reach out and ask me if I could do them. So that was more of a me problem, not a couple problem, because truthfully, guest interviews are great. It's gonna mean the absolute world to your couple when you're including their people. Grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, brother, sister, family members, extended family, just speaking words of encouragement, of wisdom, and just life into their marriage is such a beautiful thing. And that's kind of our job, right? Is to make sure that we're capturing those moments that the couple can't see, doesn't get to experience on the wedding day, but they get to feel after the fact. And honestly, an easy way to capture guest interviews is to have a handheld mic with a recorder on it. You can have just a simple lavalier attachment that you hook up to every guest that wants to do an interview, or you just have a shotgun mic on your camera and you're just capturing that internally. Really, because the tools nowadays, it just makes it super simple to really capture and document those things and clean up the audio later if you need to. But those are my methods, and if you want to look at all the audio that I use for capturing those interviews, I will have it linked down below. Handcuff yourself creatively. Pick one constraint and stick to it for the entire wedding day. Maybe that constraint is using one lens, like a 24-70 all day. Maybe that constraint is filming everything in 24 frames per second versus 60 frames per second. Maybe it's not using a gimbal. Maybe it's not using an ND filter. Whatever it is, you really want to try to force yourself out of your comfort zone so that you can learn new ways of creating. It's really just about limiting yourself so that you don't resort to your defaults, so that you're forced to grow and experiment and simplifying the process even. I have found that when I strip everything down and I'm not stressed about multiple cameras, I'm not stressed about maneuvering second shooters or a gimbal or all these tools that can sometimes get in the way of creating. It honestly opens the door creatively and it frees up the bandwidth in my mind where I'm not just completely bogged down and I can actually focus and be present in the moment. Now, this might not work for you. Maybe you like having all the tools. Maybe that's your comfort. Maybe that gives you peace of mind having everything. And if so, still bring it, but just try to challenge yourself here because that's ultimately the idea. An idea that has helped me so much when it comes to filming weddings and even editing weddings is to use music as a guide. Throughout the day, you'll hear what the couple is listening to, what songs they have for important moments, and just a general sense of the overall vibe. They're more vulnerable and emotional, then maybe you should be more still and intentional with your camera movement. If they're all about the vibe and there's a ton of energy on the day, then go handheld and just flow with the energy of the day. And then when you get back into the edit and you need music that captures that same vibe, you'll want to use Musicbed. This is my go-to music licensing source for creating films with personality, emotion, and that matches the actual vibe from the day. Because the soundtrack that you create has the power to create genuine awe and wonder for your couple. And when the right music hits the right moment, you have so much more than a wedding highlight. You have a movie that actually feels like something. And there's plenty of reasons to use Musicbed, but my favorite is that they have the best, most relevant emerging artists and musicians who are pouring their heart and soul into their work just like we are. And it's honestly the most important collaboration we will ever have as filmmakers, which is why it honestly means so much to have a resource like Musicbed that understands what it takes to create that cinematic experience for our couple. And if you're on the fence about Musicbed or you haven't heard of them yet and you want to see what they're all about, I will have a 14-day free trial down in the description. Give them a task, not a pose. Now, the portrait session on the wedding day has historically belonged to the photographer. But truthfully, if I'm being honest, the portrait session on the wedding day should belong to the videographer, because this really is the movie moment. It's that running off into the sunset, that just married vibe. This is the moment that I feel videographers should direct instead of just document, because every other part of the wedding day, you're stuck next to the photographer, just following their charge. And this part of the day, you really need that movement. You need motion, because if you're just kind of stuck under the photographer's creativity and posing strategy, and if you work with a photographer that treats the portrait session like high school prom photos, it could be poison for your film. So this is where you need to be bold, have courage, and take charge. And just communicate with the photographer what you need. If that's still an area where you're not as confident yet, that's okay. But focus more on giving your couples a task, not a pose. And ironically, I feel this translates better for photography as well, because they end up having more variations and variety within one scene. You can have them run together, recreate the Titanic together, have them slow dance, and honestly, that's better than just having the photographer constantly saying, okay, stay there, chin up, hold that, stay right there, don't move. Honestly, that just drives me insane. And sometimes you're gonna work with those photographers that don't even let you get a word in. It's really hard to kind of command the room or command the moment. So to that, I would say just switch to 60 frames per second, so that you can at least try to slow down things later on in the edit and focus on capturing those in-between moments. Because honestly, the most natural a couple looks is after the pose. It's after they got the shot, they feel like they can breathe, they're like, okay, great, we got the shot. Then maybe they interact with each other, maybe they're just not paying attention and they do something cute and you capture a personality moment. Those are generally the shots that I tend to look for anyway. So just stay rolling, you'll be surprised what you can capture in those in-between moments. But that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and valuable in some way. If you did, it would mean so much if you consider liking and subscribing, drop a comment below, and until next time, keep creating and telling beautiful stories. Peace. Oh, butt shot.